You ever watch these videos of like an artist and they're making something and you're just sort of captivated by their talent and you're just kind of like, you're just entranced, you're hypnotized. That's kind of what this movie's like. Let's talk about The Killer. The IMDb synopsis says, after a fateful near miss, an assassin battles his employers and himself on an international manhunt he insists isn't personal. That's pretty much all you need to know because that's all there is to the movie. Now, David Fincher he's just one of my favorite directors. I love the way that he frames the camera. There's a David Fincher look to things. I love his talent. I love watching him work. It's amazing to watch. But it's weird, like his last few movies, he just doesn't seem to be fussed about any sort of mainstream acceptance or anything like that. He's just making whatever he wants to make, which is great, for an artist to be able to do what they want to do. But there's some issues. But before we get into that, let's talk about the acting. The acting is fantastic across the board. Perfect. Like perfect acting. And there are some cast members that I had no idea was in the movie, and I'm really happy about that. Unfortunately, some reviews, even the IMDb, if you go to the IMDb page, it spoils some of the surprises. And that's a bummer because, yeah, you shouldn't spoil yourself. If you haven't already, you should go into it as blind as possible because it was fun. Now, of course, Michael Fassbender carries this movie with voiceover. It's a strange performance because it's not like this flamboyant, just explosive performance. It's all in the way that he reacts to things. And there are moments, there are scenes where it's just focused on his face, but you can see what he's thinking. And that is really difficult to pull off. I think Michael Fassbender is a great actor, and seeing him pull off a role like this, I guess it really shouldn't surprise me because he is that good. But it was a surprising performance that he was able to do all that he was able to do, barely without saying a word. There's a scene toward the end between Michael Fassbender and another actor, and the scene is so tense. It's palpable, and it's just two actors acting, and it's fantastic to watch. It's great stuff. I've said it before, Fincher's one of my favorites, and it's partly because of this technical perfection. There is not a scene out of place. Everything works. Everything is there for a purpose. Nothing looks off. It's technically great, and the cinematography is gorgeous. I will say that a lot of people have talked about this new cinematographer that he's using, a younger cinematographer, and their work is definitely cleaner. It's more precise than some of Fincher's earlier work, but it still retains that same flavor, which is kind of neat. I will say the score by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Of course, I'm a huge Trent Reznor fan, Nine Inch Nails fan. Nothing really sticks out to me. The score didn't blow me away, but it's there to serve the movie, which is what a score should do. There is something that sticks out about the soundtrack, and that would be the choice of music being used, not Trent's and Atticus's music for the score. I'm talking about that, Michael Fassbender's character, the killer, he's listening to headphones. He's listening to music while he's sitting there waiting for a situation to play out, or he's kind of on a stakeout or whatever, and he's listening to the Smiths. And it's like, the Smiths is fine, but wow, do you listen to anything else? Because I don't know about you, I can't listen to just one band forever. That was a little strange, but I mean, apparently maybe Fincher's just a fan of the Smiths. I don't know, but it was kind of like, okay, got anything else on your MP3 player there? It's a weird movie though, because the story is just the story that I've already explained. There's not much to it. It's a simple revenge plot, and it just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't have a satisfying narrative, at least for someone like me that's looking for, a worthy story with rich characters. We don't get that here. but it's still one of those where I'm like, I still enjoyed watching it, but it's just there's just not a lot of meat on the bone. You know, it's literally what I said earlier. It's a revenge plot, and it's kind of a bummer that it just doesn't stick with you. What it really comes down to is, are you a fan of Michael Fassbender? Are you a fan of David Fincher? If you are either one of those, then yeah, this is worth watching. It's on Netflix right now. You can watch it. But I think for general movie fans, I think some people are just going to be bored because there's not a whole lot to really grab onto. It's fantastic. The way that the movie plays out is really really cool, and I enjoyed watching it. But I don't know if I'll watch this again unless maybe I want to, get some tips on cinematography, on framing, on just the technical prowess is impressive. But there's just so yeah, I'm curious about how many of you have already watched The Killer and what you think of it. And if any of you decide to watch the movie based on this review, I'm kind of curious what you think too. So let's talk about it in the comment section because it's fun and I enjoy that. And I read every single comment. It's my favorite part of doing this is that exchange that we have. It's fun. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.